We often think of vitality as something we either have or we don't. But what if that's all wrong? What if it's actually a skill? Well, in this explainer, we're diving into Dr. Allan Mishra's performance posts to unpack that powerful idea and see how we can all learn to build it. Let's kick things off with this quote from Seneca, because really, it gets to the very heart of Dr. Mishra's entire philosophy. It's this core belief that peak performance is never an accident. Nope, it's the direct result of intentional, deliberate effort. So, what's the big idea here? Well, it all starts with two really foundational concepts that Dr. Mishra uses to define what high performance even means in the first place. First up, there's vitality. Now, don't just think of this as having energy, think of it as high-octane fuel for your life. It's a very specific kind of energy, one that's driven by a clear sense of purpose and, just as important, deep connections with the people around you. And that fuel, well, this is what it powers: optimal performance. This isn't just about getting something done one time. It's about doing it well, over and over again, efficiently, and having that grit, that resilience, to bounce right back when things go sideways. To help us get there, Dr. Mishra provides this amazing blueprint he calls the 7 pillars of performance. Now, they're all absolutely critical, but for our purposes today, we're going to zero in on the ones that build the essential foundation for all success. And that foundation, the bedrock of any high achievement, it all starts right here, with where you choose to put your focus and how you get ready for the task at hand. Dr. Mishra's big argument here is that your attention is a precious, non-renewable resource. It is not infinite, so you have to actively protect it. And that means doing real things, like turning off notifications, working in focused sprints, and, this is a big one, giving yourself a digital-free hour before you go to sleep. The second piece of that foundation is preparation. I mean, Pastor's famous quote says it all, right? Those big breakthroughs, they rarely just fall out of the sky. Instead, they are the direct result of careful, often invisible hard work. Just look at the Beatles. Before they were legends, they were grinding it out in Hamburg, Germany, playing these punishing 8-hour sets night after night. That relentless prep work is exactly what forged them into the band that changed music forever. Or think about Muhammad Ali. He was famously honest about how much he hated, absolutely hated, training. But he did it. He embraced that agony because he knew it was the price of greatness. It was the only path to becoming a champion. And finally, how about Steve Martin? His overnight success was anything but. It was built on a solid decade of quiet, focused work at Disneyland, perfecting his craft long before he ever hit the national stage. Okay, so once you've got that solid foundation of attention and preparation in place, the next layer is all about your mindset. It's about how you find your direction and how you handle the inevitable bumps in the road. Dr. Mishra gives his students what sounds like a simple task: boil down your entire life's purpose into just 8 words. It sounds easy, but it's incredibly tough because it forces you to get crystal clear about your why and take total ownership of your direction. Next, let's talk about pressure. Dr. Mishra uses this really powerful analogy, the psychological stress fracture. See, just like a runner can get a physical fracture from repeated impact over time, we can break down emotionally from the constant buildup of small, relentless stresses. So, how do we actually put all this into practice? Let's get down to brass tacks. Dr. Mishra offers some really tangible, science-backed strategies to actively build your vitality, day in and day out. First, he suggests you think of your well-being as a vitality IRA. The whole idea is that these small, consistent deposits you make in all areas of your life, physical, mental, social, spiritual, they don't just add up. Oh no, they compound over time, giving you these huge returns down the line. And maybe the most important deposit you can make is sleep. Dr. Mishra actually calls it a legal performance-enhancing drug, and the data totally backs him up. A study of NBA players found a clear, measurable drop in their shooting accuracy after late-night social media use, which basically stood in for a lack of sleep. And to boost that social vitality, that critical sense of connection we talked about, he has a very specific recommendation: sending 3 particular types of messages every single day. He calls them brave tests. And they're simple, they're genuine, and yeah, sometimes they're a little uncomfortable, but they are incredibly powerful tools for strengthening friendships and building those deep connections that are so essential to our well-being. So, after going through the framework, the mindset, and the action plan, what's the single most important thing to take away from all of Dr. Mishra's work? What's the one idea that really ties it all together? It really comes down to this simple but incredibly profound idea. Vitality is not some fixed trait you were born with. It's a skill. And that means, just like any other skill, it can be learned, it can be practiced, and ultimately, it can be mastered. We have only just scratched the surface today, seriously. If you want to dive deeper into all of these concepts and find the references, I highly recommend you visit Dr. Mishra's Vitality Explorers on Substack. There's a massive archive of material just waiting for you there. And so we'll leave you with this final thought. If vitality isn't some gift, but something that is earned through the choices we make, then the power to change, to improve, and to perform at your absolute best is entirely in your hands starting right now.